I'm joined today in Peter's mum's car by Peter Fowler. Peter was having a bit of a difficult time. He decided to live in the car.
Yeah, well, my mum said she always wanted me to move out. So I figured, okay, fine, I'm finally going to do it. I'm going to leave. I'm going to move out.
You stormed out. You said you could put all your clothes in a bag. You said, I'm leaving. You went out. You stormed in her car. She said, don't take my car.
Yeah, I said, no, I'm moving out. This is my new home.
This is it this time.
Yeah.
This is for real.
Yeah, I said, you've been wanting me to move out for a long time, and I'm finally doing it. You don't want me in the house anymore, so I've left.
Where else can I go?
Yeah, exactly. So I decided to move into the car.
So it was thoughtful of you. You've taken the passenger seat.
Yeah, well, figured sometimes she needs to drive it, so I don't have a license.
So if she wants to go somewhere, you nothing you can do about it. You just have to go along with her in the car.
Yeah, or I can get out and go for a walk or something.
Wait till she gets back.
Yeah, but then I haven't got any of my stuff with me, and I don't go back inside the house. So
Do you eat your dinner in here?
yeah, sometimes, yeah, but I don't know how to cook, so
She bring you a sandwich.
yeah, as long as she'll come out and she'll cook for me, and she'll bring me the food, and she'll pass it through the window, and I'll just sort of take it out.
Cup of tea.
Yeah.
And you is that little bucket on the floor? Is that where you wee and poo in?
Yeah. I don't really like to empty it myself though, so she.
You don't like to empty yourself.
No, it's pretty disgusting. So
She takes it inside, pours it down the loo, and then flushes the toilet and cleans it and brings it back.
yeah, what I'll do is I'll usually like honk the horn. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll honk the horn to get her attention. She knows that I want something, so she'll come out and she'll say, Peter, what is it that you need?
Anytime, night or day.
Yeah, pretty much. I try to be respectful and limit it. So usually, like before midnight, I won't honk the horn because then maybe the neighbours might get a bit annoyed.
So you wait for the clock to strike midnight. You honk it 3 times. All the neighbours know what's going on. Your mum's probably just got to bed at about 11, hasn't she?
Yeah, but she doesn't mind coming out as long as it's before midnight.
Are you sure about that, Peter? Because when I've heard her screaming, "Don't honk the horn again." Are you sure about that, Peter? Because sometimes when I hear this at midnight, and then I hear your mum screaming, "Don't honk the horn, Peter."
Sometimes that's 1 minute past midnight though, so maybe I've not looked at the clock. Maybe I've timed it poorly. I'm not sure, but yeah. But I know she doesn't mind really.
You honk it, you'll scream, "Me want din dins."
Yeah.
No, this isn't for dinner. This is first come and get the toilet.
Yeah, or maybe I want a snack. Maybe I want an extra jumper, clean pair of boxers, maybe. Maybe a book to read. I don't know, maybe a magnifying glass.
Peter, you've piqued my interest there. What would you need a magnifying glass for?
Well, sometimes I like to look at things close up. Every now and then maybe a fly or some sort of strange looking bug will crawl its way into the car and I want to examine it.
Yeah, you've got that nice ladybird magnifying glass from the Natural History Museum, haven't you?
Yeah, was it from that or was it from a magazine? I can't remember. I've got 2. I've got the green one, which is from the magazine. It was from a magazine I got a long time ago.
And if your mum brings the wrong one out, you get very upset, don't you?
Well, she should know which one I want at this stage.
Depending on what time of day it is, you'll want one or the other.
Yeah, and I don't like to keep them in the car all the time because I want to save space.
That seems slightly strange, Peter. You're not really short of space for a couple of magnifying glasses in here. I mean, you do. I think it'd be nice if your mum just to keep them in here. Or do you think she doesn't mind being woken up in the middle of the night for a magnifying glass?
I think sometimes it really depends on her mood. If she's in a bad mood, maybe she just got to bed and I'm honking saying I want my magnifying glass. Then maybe she gets a bit pissed off. Yeah.
And you keep a sort of journal of all the things you find. You keep a journal of all the insects that you've inspected with the magnifying glass. Yeah,
I like to write the different detail and how they differentiate from the others. It's quite interesting actually.
So we say, Thursday, Friday, 14th or whatever, found 3 bugs. You describe them, you draw them.
Yeah, sometimes I draw them, and it's quite interesting because I've got like a centipede that's crawled its way in here. I've had a few centipedes come in here, and sometimes I try and do with the magnifying glass. I try and count the legs that they have, and sometimes different centipedes have got more legs.
That sounds like a fool's errand to me. I mean, how can you possibly count all the legs?
Well, with a magnifying glass, because I can see quite close up. When you use a magnifying glass, you can see quite a few of the legs.
And if you miscount and you go, oh damn, I have to start again.
Yeah, that does happen sometimes, because it's really hard to get them to sit still as well. So if they're moving constantly, sometimes I double count.
How would you get them to sit still?
So usually I'll use my little finger and I'll sort of like do a little tickle under the chin.
I didn't realise a centipede had a chin.
I think some do. Well, whatever, under the head, kind of give it a little tickle.
Wherever the mouth is, go down a bit, give it a tickle there.
There's been a few instances where I've done it maybe a little bit too hard and I've ended up squashing its head with my finger.
Just from tickling it.
Yeah,
But at least it stays still. So I think hopefully one day, am I right in thinking you're planning on publishing your memoirs about all these insects you found?
Yeah, I think it's quite an interesting thing, isn't it? Like man in the car, counting insects' legs.
And have you made any sort of discoveries about insects?
What kind of discoveries do you mean?
I don't know, Peter. I mean, you've been inspecting insects for many years. If you haven't discovered anything, I don't think you're looking very hard.
No, I mean, like I said, I guess I have made some discoveries. Like I said, some species of centipede have got more legs than the other. That's a discovery.
Okay, but I suspect that might just be you counting wrong.
Well, it's happened before. Yeah.
For instance, once in your journal, I was looking. It said centipede. So you got a little table there of all of them. And one of them says 6, and I thought, is that really a centipede, or if you actually mistaken, a fly for a centipede?
But yeah, it can happen sometimes. But I realise some things don't even have legs, like worms, for example.
So you've got your table of centipede, Peter's great table of centipedes. Half the time it's 0, it's a worm probably that you've misidentified, or it's 6, it's a fly, or there's 8, it's a spider.
Yeah, sometimes mosquitoes come in as well.
There's only about 3 that have got 100.
Yeah, well, it's a good hobby though. I think I'm quite a man of the wildlife as well. I think they like me. They're drawn to me.
But the thing is, if you tried to publish this work in a respected scientific journal of insects, I think they'd throw it out of hand. They'd say this guy's he doesn't really know about centipedes at all. I mean, he's half of these are worms.
I don't know about you, but they're quite hard to differentiate sometimes.
Well, sort of. A worm's one of those things that's like a bit slimy, quite long, kind of brown.
Yeah, but then so are centipedes, aren't they? But then they've got legs and worms don't.
That's true. Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure to meet you, Peter. You're a fascinating character. You're a fascinating character. I wish you well. Wish you and your mum well.